all about recession. Recession, you know, I think we're going to experience recession. There's talk about recession. The next day, ganun pa rin. Recession, recession, recession. At the very end, after 1 week of hearing recession, the word recession, of course, they all felt na they were in recession. Tama mo ba? Kasi if you think negatively, you live negatively. Correct?
Yes.
You know what? But if you always look at your glass as half full rather than half empty, things are different. Your outlook in life is much, much clearer. The Philippines kasi is very optimistic and we're very proud of our progress. Bakit proud of our progress? Alam mo ba? Kasi sarili mo tayo sa hirap eh. Imagine, let's base it on history alone. We've been occupied by so many foreign occupants. Spaniards, 400 years of backlash. Then, who came next? Americans? Then the Japanese invaded us. Then we're back to the Americans. And now, and finally, we got what we call what our independence is now. But we're proud of our province in the sense that do you know the saying that what cannot kill you makes you stronger? I think to the Filipino, that is very inherent. Na habang tumatagal, kahit anong parusa, kahit anong sakripisyo, kahit anong problema ang daanan natin, we always feel na we can do it. Right? We will overcome. Eventually, we will overcome. And that's the beauty of being Filipino. The world economy may high volatility of economic growth. Ibig sabihin, their growth is dependent on what others will do. Tayo hindi. We're very predictable. In fact, we can chart our growth up to 50 years. That's what one of my professors said. Primarily because we know where we are and we know where we want to go. The only problem with us Filipinos is that we take a long time getting there. And so, it takes time, but eventually, we do get there. That's a possibility. Ano bang ibang viruses sa Philippine states that give us a very bad case of flu? One, of course, it's nearing 2010. There's political pressure and uncertainty. Basically, ikot sila, sino ba ang papalit? Kung may papalit naman. Yeah? We don't know. We don't know what's going to happen. And imagine that we are so, we're a country that is so westernized. Diba? Gaya tayo sa Amerika. Well, meron Amerika, gaya tayo. Unfortunately, there's one thing na hindi natin nagaya. There are only two parties in the States. Right? The Democrats and the Republicans. They just choose one candidate, maglaban-laban muna sila. There's only one against one. And there's one debate, one big debate that says whatever the platform of the candidate is. Unfortunately with us, look at that. Ngayon pala yan, that's a few hours ago, na yan yung mga nagde-declare na tatakbo sila. And that political instability is a definite virus for us and for our economy. Because the more we don't know, it's frightening. Yeah? And one major, the last major thing that is sort of our problem, gives us a bad thing, is that a lot of medical personnel relevant to our discussion today continue to leave the country, thus creating a vacuum in our healthcare resources. I was talking with one of your colleagues who's from my home province of Bicol, and she asked me a few questions. Are you married? I said no. I'm not. I'm single. Why? Because I'm very career-oriented. And normally, mga relationships don't work out because we have different paths. The second question was, you graduated with a degree, with a paramedical degree, bakit hindi ka umalis? One thing that I am very proud of is that I am very nationalistic. I grew up a nationalist. My grandfather was a nationalist. My parents are nationalists. And I feel that if everybody just leaves the country, for whatever reason, I'm not against it. Anybody can leave the country whenever they want. But the thing is, remember this, the more people who leave the country, especially doctors, right? Doctors leave the country, nurses leave the country, they seek dinner pastures elsewhere. Ang problema, yung mga umaalis, more often than not, the first to leave are the ones who are very, very good. Di ba po? Ang unang nakakaalis, ang unang natatanggap sa trabaho elsewhere are those that are who excel in their craft. The problem na is, when it comes to the Philippines, paano na tayo? If everybody thought that way, alis na lang ako. Alis na lang ako, punta na ako sa ibang bansa, I'll earn more, blah, blah, blah. This is for my family, this is for myself. Fine. I'm not against it. But just give it a thought. If everybody will do that, the Philippines will soon run out of good people. And this brings a good point to all of you. Not only are they leaving, enrollment in schools for medicine also are decreasing. Would you believe that in one major teaching hospital, which has a school, a medicine school, only had 10 na pumasok na nag-enroll for first year. 10. How many have already left? Why am I stressing this? I'm stressing this because all of you, being midwives, have a greater responsibility now more than ever. Why? Because primary health care is more so now entrusted in your hands rather than from the doctors. Di ba po? Do you agree with that? I think you should give yourself a round of applause. Because it's hard. It's hard knowing that you have such a great responsibility. But I think together, you as a group can do it. The other fascinating data, and the only chart that I will show throughout my whole presentation, based on the data table below, there is one physician and one hospital bed per 1,000 people. Actually grew from 1990 to 2000 to 2005. It grew, but you have to remember that also from the period of 1990 to the year 2005, our population also doubled. Relatively, though nag-grow yung number of physicians, though nag-grow yung number of hospital beds through the years, the population grew so much that it can no longer accommodate even the growth of the medical staff and the medical facility. Siyempre, kung may flu, dapat may gamot. Di ba ba? We should have medicines to fight the flu. And some of those medicines, most medicines are curative. They should cure. They should answer a need. One good medicine is OFW in a sense. They are our modern heroes, our modern martyrs, because they leave the country for greener pastures. Ironic, di ba? I don't want to leave the country, but I posted there. Because totoo naman they are the ones who are making our economy survive. Tourism, di ba? Sabi ni Ace Durano, siya turismo, may trabaho. Diba? So, basically, with tourism, hopefully, when a lot of people, a lot of foreigners come over